Pretty beautiful. Pretty multicolored, if you ask me. A while back, a couple months, I think at this point, I received a number of amazing things from Into Resin. One of which was, along with some of their amazing crystal molds, I received 8 of their multicolor Aurora powders. I have been showing you guys a few of them along the way. Today, I decided that I was going to show you all 8 colors. Fixed experiment, wrong word, not fixed, controlled experiment of all 8 Aurora powders. I decided that the easiest thing to do was to show them in their clear, natural state, and then, of course, with a black background. I knew that the black background was going to be a game changer, and it absolutely was. So let's get into it. It's a pretty short video. I'm going to be doing the exact same thing with all 8 powders. So I'm going to take you through what I did in the beginning, go through all of these. We're using UV resin to make things easy today. I'm going with my tried and true tea expert. Of course, until I ran out, and then I was really sad, and then I had to use my backup. But it's okay. It all worked out in the end. Just you guys wait and see what each powder produces. A rainbow of colors in and of themselves, all 8 unique, fascinating. I'm stoked. Let's get into it right now. You may have seen this footage right when I opened this package of the 8 Aurora powders. So this is all 8 of them kind of side by side. It's really a little difficult to see. There's obvious color differences, but it's kind of difficult to see just how different each of them are until we open them up and get into them. So basically what I'm doing for this experiment, I'm starting from 1 going all the way up through 8. I'm going to be using 2 at a time. So 1 and 2 together, 3 and 4 together, 5 and 6, so on and so forth. This is what number 1 looks like, all mixed up. All I've done is mix it up in some UV resin, and we're already seeing a pretty cool color shift. I go ahead and do the exact same thing in a different cup with number 2. Mix that up in some UV resin, set them off to the side, and then we're going to get into the rest of the experiment. So I use the word control in the beginning. I do want this to be as controlled as possible. So I'm only going to be using 1 mold, this pendant mold, and I'm only going to be using 2 of the shapes. So I'm going to be using the donut shape and the teardrop shape. Both of which are hollow and I thought would give a really cool effect. I'm going to start with all of my clear pieces first. So this is going to be done in 2 steps. First step is I'm simply putting halfway up, just filling the mold halfway with good old clear UV resin. I'm going to cure that only for about 30-45 seconds. So it's still tacky enough that I can then take a brush and brush each shape with one of the Aurora powders. So what I'm doing here is I've decided that the donut shape, that circle, is going to be all of the odd numbered powders. So 1, 3, 5, 7. The teardrop shape is going to be all of my even numbered powders, 2, 4, 6, and 8. After I dust each shape with its said powder, I will then blow off the excess and put another layer of clear UV resin on top of that. Let that guy cure for a good 2 to 3 minutes, and then I do make sure to flip the mold over and cure it for a good minute on the other side to make sure we're nice and good to go. I repeat this process with all 8 colors for my clear control group. Now the next step is to start all over again, 1 through 8, same process, but using that black background. So again, I fill each mold halfway up with clear UV resin, cure it just about 30-45 seconds so it's still tacky, brush each powder on again. This time I've mixed a little bit of black mica powder into my UV resin so that I do have a nice black background. And I am using, just FYI, I am using black mica powder from Let's Resin. So pretty easy experiment, y'all. It didn't take that much time because I was using UV resin, and I honestly just really enjoyed seeing with my eyeballs how different each of these powders really are in real life. So at this point, it is time for me to show you guys all of the end results. Let's see what we came up with. This first little bit of footage, maybe not the best. I spilled resin like all over the paper and all of that stuff, but I wanted you guys to get an idea. I was really being very diligent, like placing each pendant where it belonged and its, corresponding number and all of that good stuff. So a little messy, but I did want to show you guys kind of my working process and what I was thinking to keep everything nice and straight and in order. So here we've got it, and then I definitely decided that I was going to switch papers, put all of the corresponding powders above, so we are basically looking left to right, 1 through 8. And I've got to say, now the clear pendants are gorgeous, and when you hold them up into the light, you definitely can see those difference in color shifts. Some of you might be thinking, why didn't you use a white background? I definitely thought about doing that, but I really kind of just wanted to see the powders in their clearest form. So that's why I kind of chose to go clear. And I put them on a white background, so that kind of helps out as well. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I think it's pretty clear that the star of this show is that black background. The colors are popping. They are making each individual powder so obviously different from each other, despite how much they may look kind of similar within the pots. Into resin. Well done. I'm obsessed. I love them so much. I need more and want more. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. I would definitely appreciate it if you do. It is completely free. Anyone that has left me a super thanks, you guys know who you are, and I appreciate you so much. Until the next one, you guys, I will see you later, and have a good one. Bye.